All right, we're looking at the 1.4 homework now. So let's look at these problems. So we're looking at polynomials. So first off, we're going to talk about adding two polynomials together. So remember, the idea here is about like terms. You can only add or subtract terms if they are like terms, which means same variable with the same exponent. So those two are going to be able to be added to each other. And then we have a cubed and a cubed. We can put those together. Let's see, we've got an x, and he's the only one, so he's going to be all alone. And then this 4 is also going to be by himself. So let's add these together. We're going to have negative 8x to the 4th. Really, that's a minus 3x to the 4th. So we can group those together, and that will give me a negative 11x to the 4th. All right, and then I'm going to be able to put the negative 10x cubed together with the minus x cubed. Recall, if there's nothing in front, that's like a 1. So this is negative 10 minus 1, which gives me, well, negative 11. And then we're going to have the 10x all by himself, and we've got the 4. So we're just going to add all those up. So negative 11x to the 4th minus 11x cubed plus 10x plus 4, and that'll be our final answer. So remember, with exponents, you can go to that drop-down menu to grab the exponent, or you can just use the caret, and by caret, I mean this key on your keyboard. It's with the number 6. So let's put in our answer. All right, so we have negative 11x to the 4th, and then it was minus 11x to the 3rd, and then plus 10x and plus 4. So notice again, it said the syntax was okay. That's just telling us that we've entered a valid answer. It doesn't mean it's right. It just means it looks good. So that was adding. Subtracting is the same thing. Just make sure that you're distributing that minus sign through. So this is going to be negative 2x to the 5th minus 3x to the 5th. So that's going to give me negative 5x to the 5th. And then we're going to have negative 10x squared minus 2x squared. So that's going to give me negative 12x squared. And then we have a negative 6x who can't match with anyone. And then that 5, keep in mind that's a minus 5. So then we'll just put all these together. Negative 5x to the 5th minus 12x squared minus 6x minus 5. Now again, that's a minus because, see, this negative has to be distributed all the way through. And that's our final answer. So let's stick that in. Oh, whoops. And so we had what? Negative 5. Oh, heck. I'm just going to do show answer. Anyway, so there's our negative 5x to the 5th minus 12x squared minus 6x minus 5. So now again, with the exponents, let me just show you again real quick. Negative 5x. If you want, push this little yellow box here, and this one will give you an exponent. See, this will give you a fraction, exponent, subscript, square root, etc. So we want that one, and we would just stick the, was it a 5? Stick the 5 in, and then just push right arrow to get out of there. So I just wanted to show you that. Yes. So the next question here is multiplying polynomials. So this is just a matter of foiling, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the first two together, then the outer ones, then the inner ones, then the last, and then we'll put all those together. So if I multiply the first ones together, that's x times x, which is x squared. The outer would be x and a negative 2, so that's negative 2x. The inner would be negative 6 and an x, so that's negative 6x. And then if we multiply the last ones, that's negative 6 and negative 2, which gives you 12. So see, we multiplied the first ones, then the outer, then the inner, then the last. These two in the middle can be put together to give us a negative x. So we get x squared minus 8x plus 12. And there's our answer. squared minus 8x plus 12. So x squared minus 8x plus 12. And we can submit that. So that's foiling. This next one's another foiling, another foiling. This one is foiling, but it's going to do something cool because it has conjugates. So conjugates are awesome because if you multiply two binomials that are identical except the middle sign, okay, then the outer and inner will always cancel. Okay, so notice that the outer would be negative AB and the inner would be positive AB. So the outer and the inner always cancel out. So when you multiply conjugates together, it's really, when you multiply conjugates together, it's really just the first one squared minus the second one squared. So if we look at this one, instead of foiling it, we can just say it's the first one squared minus the second one squared. So pretty cool. So this is 4x squared minus 16. So when you're multiplying conjugates, if they're exactly the same except just the sign in the middle, then you can just square the first one, so 4x squared, minus square the second one. So it's pretty sweet. Nice little shortcut there. So this is just going to be 4x squared minus 16. Yay. And then this last one is a perfect square. So now again, these have a bit of a shortcut to them as well. You can always foil it. Just make sure that if you're going to foil it, you write it twice. Okay. Do not distribute the exponent. There's no such thing as distributing exponents. You can't do that. But notice what happens if I do foil this out. So we would get the first one, well, squared, right? Because they would go together. And then for the outer, you'd have negative 3z. For the inner, you would also have negative 3z. These two will always be the same. And then for the last one, you're going to get negative 1 times itself, so you'll get the last one squared. So notice the middle two will always be the same, so really it's double the product, you see? So you'll get negative 6. So if we FOIL this, we'll get 9z squared minus 6z plus 1. So the shortcut, though, if you look over here at the original, it's just the first one squared, multiply the two things together and double it, and square the last one. So 9z squared minus 6z plus 1. So square the first one, the 3z, then multiply the two together, that's negative 3z, and double it, so negative 6z, and then square the last one. So again, just a shortcut, but you can always write it out twice and FOIL it. So I'm just going to square the first one. I'm going to multiply them together and double it, and then I'm going to square the last one. Yay. So that is 1.4 homework. I did skip a couple, but they were all the same.